In this video, let's talk about the 3 types of social media posts you should be posting across all social media as a hypnotherapist in order to get your next paid clients. Now, these posts are very, very simple, and unfortunately, they come across a little bit boring, but these are the things that are going to turn posts or content into paid clients. Now, there's a lot of information out there that says you need to talk about your background. You should learn how to tell your story. It's all about connecting with your clients based on what you've been through. I'm here to tell you those things are absolute garbage. I'm going to keep it really, really simple. Now, when I say this, you can post across all social media. So you've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, podcasting, Daily Motion, email, blogs, all of those things. It all comes down to the same type of style. So whether you're using just your phone to record a video, you could set up a laptop, could be a video. It could even just be a post, like a screenshot of a post. They're all the same thing. So there's really 3 you need to focus on. These are for therapists, coaches, does not matter. The first one is what I call answering common questions, which is this video right here. This video came about because people get asking me, what type of social media should I post? And when it comes down to it, guys, here's the one thing and the only thing your clients care about is, if I hire you, is this going to work? So in order to show people it's going to work outside of testimonials, which is another one of the other types of social media you should be doing, you want to be answering common questions. Why? Well, this has a long tail attached to it. What do I mean by that? If you can use your social media properly and you can answer common questions about anxiety, weight loss, abandonment issues, fear, abundance block, whatever it is, I'm just trying to think of ones off the top of my head, stop smoking, any type of niche that you're in, what this content is doing is proving your worth. It's proving your depth of knowledge and how you know about the subject. Now, notice what I said there. I'm not creating content talking about hypnosis. I'm not going to tell you what language I'm going to use or how deep I can get you to go or how NLP is different than hypnosis. Why? Because your potential clients don't care. If you talk about therapeutic knowledge, the only thing that's going to attract is other therapists. Now, unless they're your clients, fine, you can do that. But if you're working with average Joe blogs on the street to quit smoking, he doesn't care about NLP, he doesn't care about, doesn't know the difference, doesn't care who you were trained by, what type of therapy you use. He wants to know what's your depth of knowledge. So depth of knowledge goes a long way. So when you're doing your research about what content to create, stick to common questions. People ask me common questions all the time, and I take those questions and turn them into content. Every piece of content you guys see from me is actually come from you guys, which is my community, who are asking common questions. All I do is answer them. Now, this also takes the stress off me to wonder, what the hell am I going to talk about today? What should I post? It all comes down to common questions, guys. So regardless of how simple those questions are, that can be quite boring subjects. That's what you want to be talking about, not the therapy, not the hypnosis you were trained by, because clients are not asking those questions. So answering common questions should be the bulk of your content. The next big one, testimonials. Now, I know people are going to say to me, Scott, I don't have any testimonials. I'm brand new. If that's the case, just skip this part and go to the other 2 styles that I'm going to give you. Answering common questions being the most important. Testimonials at the end of the day is answering a very common question, which is this going to work? Now, therapists and coaches can talk all day long about how good they are, what they can do, all of this sort of stuff, but nothing beats a raw screenshot testimonial. If you go to my Facebook, which I recommend you do, guys, send me a friend request as well, so you can stay up to date with what we're doing. You'll notice I take a lot of screenshots of testimonials that our paid students send me, and I just use those. I don't make them look fancy. I don't go to Canva. I don't copy and paste things. I don't add images. It's just the raw screenshot. And you can do this with an email as well. Why? Because it's straight to the point. And what happens is, if a potential client came to my page and they want to know, does Scott's program work? Is it worth the money? And they can see screenshot, testimonial, testimonial, testimonial. It shows, hey, it's not coming from Scott, who's ego and boasting. It's actually coming from his paid students. And we post a lot of testimonials. But like I said, if you don't have testimonials, they'll come later. You can always come back to this part later. The third one, really not the most effective, but I think it's important, is if you have a decent amount of followers. And when I say decent, you might only have 500 followers, a couple of thousand followers on YouTube, if that, maybe a couple of thousand on Instagram, which is not a lot in the big scheme of things. Ask what I call community questions. Post an announcement like, if you didn't have anxiety, what would be the first thing you do in your life? Or what part of quitting smoking seems to be the hardest? What this does, it throws a question out there, okay? And it gets people talking. The answers I get back are going to be common answers. I'm going to turn those into videos. But it also helps me find out what's going on in the community that are at large. What can I help them with? What are the common things they're thinking about? Because remember, guys, when creating content that's answering common questions, the long tail I talked about before is I'm answering their common questions. If I don't answer those things and don't allow social media to do that, what I call heavy lifting for me, by the time they show up on a strategy call, what are they going to be asking me? All of those questions. They're not going to be ready. They're not going to be convinced. I like to know if someone joins my program or someone books a strategy call, it's because they've seen all my content. And 99% of the time, that's how people have found me. And by the time they jump on a call or jump in the program, there's no convincing. I don't even have to do a proper strategy call per se. They usually maybe just have one or two questions, or they just say, you know what, I'm going to jump straight into the program because I can see all the testimonials. I can see Scott's depth of knowledge. He's answering questions as if he was answering them on a phone call anyway. All my questions will be answered. I don't have anything else to ask. I'm going to join. And the same thing can be done for your one-to-one as well. Your social media guys using those 3 styles of posting or 3 styles of social media, answering common questions, showing testimonials if you've got them, asking community questions. Now, these can be done via video. These can be done via post. Like I said, it does not matter. And doing these regularly and showing up more than your competition is by far the easiest way to differentiate yourself. Do this as an experiment, guys, just before I go. Go to social media, find another 5 or 10 therapists, maybe even the same niche as you, and look at their content. What are you going to notice? They're talking about themselves. They're talking about the same style of therapy. They're talking about who they were certified with. They're talking about the breakthrough they had that led them into becoming a coach. No client ever on the face of this planet that's really interested in your product has ever sat up at nighttime, worried, scared, and fearful, thinking, I wonder why Scott became a hypnotherapist. I wonder who he studied with. They're never thinking that. They're thinking, if I don't quit smoking, I'm literally going to jeopardize my health and maybe die or something like that. These are the things that keep people up at night. So I'm going to answer those common questions, show my depth of knowledge. No selfie, and I say that with a bit of a smile on my face, no selfie is ever going to convince somebody that you're better than somebody else as far as a better qualified therapist. So selfies, ridiculous quotes that have no meaning, copying what other people are doing. Another point I want to make is don't share other people's content, even if it's a mentor of yours, because all you're going to be doing is just promoting their business for them. Don't talk about your style of therapy because clients don't care. Don't talk about your certification, what event you just went to, because clients are not interested in that. They want to know, is this going to work for me? Yes, here's a testimonial. Is Scott knowledgeable on the subject? Yes, here's his depth of knowledge. And by that, it also transfers. And if he knows this, he must be able to help me. And also, what's the quickest fashion we can get this done? That's where the strategy call comes in, guys. We always say do a strategy call. But all in all, guys, use those 3 styles of posts of social media. Do them over and over again. Don't get caught in talking about yourself, your story, and things like that, because all it's going to do is fall on deaf ears, unfortunately. Thanks for watching.